Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with a short, brief video. So I noticed that on YouTube there is videos about the front mount, which is right there with the red bolt sticking up, and then there might be videos about the rear engine mount, which sits right there. You can see that bolt. You got to just take that brace off and all of that stuff, and it sits right there. But there are no videos about all the locations of the mounts, so that's what this video is for. So as you know, so we have the front mount, right? Front mount looks like this. When I replaced it, this is actually just a spare one because I already replaced that one like a couple months ago. This part right here tends to wear out. So you got the front mount, and you got the rear mount, which pretty much looks almost identical to the front mount, but as you can see, the rubber pieces are different. Almost identical, but the rubber pieces are different. So that's the front, and that's the rear. So you have the passenger side mount. This is the passenger side. So passenger side mount sits right here. So what I did was I jacked it up right up under, put some wood right up under my jack, jacked it up right up against the oil pan, not too much pressure, jacked it up maybe 2 or 3 times. Took this bolt out. Then you got 2 bolts that actually hold the mount down, which is right up under this power steering container, and then you got one that sits right off in there. You undo those. What else? Yeah, you undo those, take those out. You undo that bolt, take that out. While you're at it, unloosen these, because when you go back to put the new one in, it's not gonna fit perfectly. So this gives you that kind of room to wiggle and play and get that bolt back in there. Once you get that bolt back in there, you're all set. Don't take these all the way out though, just enough to loosen this little plate. Once you loosen that plate, get it back in there. Bolt your 2 bolts down for the mount. Then you bolt this one down. You go bolt these down. This is what the old one looks like. Check this out. This was bad, like real bad. Like this came out. You got like literally crumbs. I wish, yeah, you got like literally crumbs. Look at that, crumbs off in there. So yeah, that one was pretty bad. So that was the passenger side. Now you got the driver's side. The driver's side is not visible from, you know, everything hooked up. So what you have to do is take your air intake apart. Take this part, take this apart, take this off the 4 screws, pull that off, and then the bottom part of this has 2 screws. You got a screw right here, and then you got a screw right there, and you take that off. Once you take that off, this is the mount. The mount sits right up under it. It sits like this. There's a plate. I wish I could show you guys, but there's a plate. Let's see. So let's say it sits like that. There's a plate with 2 screws. It's like a screw, and then there's a screw that goes down the dead center of this. So you take that plate off, with those short screws, and then you got a long screw right here. Once you get access to that, I believe it's like a 14 or 15 millimeter. You take this off. You see how bad this mount was. But it's not too hard to get to these screws because they're sitting like right up against the kind of the chassis or whatever. So you can get to these first two screws. These first two screws you can get to with the socket. This third screw, which is further close to the firewall, I had to use a open wrench. I had to use this. I had to use this with the wrench end, and I was able to get it. So yeah, make sure you keep in order which screws you take out, because there's two short screws and two long screws and one short screw. Once you get it back out, this is between this one and that one was probably the easiest. So that's the passenger side mount. Now there's another mount, which this is what it looks like. If you didn't really know what you were looking for, you wouldn't find it. So that one is, let me get my flashlight. That one is sitting sitting right there. Right there. So you got that bolt right there. Not that one, but that one. Then you got that bolt. So then this mount is mounted off or bolted to somewhat the chassis, you can see, and you access those nuts or bolts up under here. If you feel, you can feel a hole for both ends, and that will be where this goes. So check this out. If you look at how that's made versus how this made, it's exactly the same. You got that hole, which would be, wait, hold on. Okay, so you got this hole. See, you got the longer end. So you got this hole, which will be that screw. Then you got the rear one, which will be that bolt. And then, I guess you got some, must have some, the way this is made, it must be nuts up under here. And you just unmount it. Now, what I'm unsure of is how to jack it up to where, you know, I can jack up that, take that off, take the mount off, and replace it. So I'm gonna do that one another day. I've already done two mounts, the passenger and driver side. So yeah, that's it. So again, real quick, just go over. We got the front mount, got the rear mount, got the passenger side mount, and then up under the air intake, you have the driver's side. Then you have the lower transmission mount. And I believe that's it. So if you guys have any questions, please comment. I pretty much, reply back in a pretty decent time. Otherwise, you guys have a nice Labor Day, and take care of yourselves.